Hey Internet, Eric here. Well, it's still Friday the 13th week, as I've been calling it, and been wanting to do something Friday the 13th related all week on this channel with my uploads. And I started out with my contest entry for my buddy Horror Gamer's 1,000 subscribers contest, and I did that a couple days ago. And I wanted to upload something today, but the thing is, what I have with this channel is when I discuss movies, I don't want to discuss a movie that I've already talked about, and I've already talked about every Friday the 13th movie there is. So I was thinking to myself, what could I actually talk about, Jason Voorhees or Friday the 13th related, movie wise? And I figured, why not talk about one of the fan films? And I figured, you know what? I can maybe, twist it around and maybe see if it's worthy enough, or not worthy enough, but I can make that concept of me discussing a fan film for one of my Is It Worth the Hype videos. I haven't done one of these in a long time. So, Is It Worth the Hype? Is It Worth the Hype is a concept here where I take a film, or now apparently a fan film, it seems like everybody praises. I haven't seen. I'm always the last one to see. Everyone seems to praise it, and I decide, is it really worth all the hoopla and all the good things that they say about it? Um, Today, I'm going to try to show this off while balancing my phone. So today, I'm going to talk 2017's and see if you can't really see that because of the glare. Can't really see that at all, but Never Hike Alone. Is Never Hike Alone worth the hype? This came out in 2017. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I discuss plot spoilers, specific scenes, all that jazz. Well, there's been a huge amount of fan films hitting the internet because of the Friday the 13th lawsuit between Sean Cunningham and Victor Miller. You want to know any of that stuff? Just Google it. So, due to that, there's been no new film since 2009. Well, 2017. Don't remember the director's name off the top of my head. He also plays Jason in this. He decided to create his own Friday the 13th fan film. It's an hour long, 57 minutes, so basically an hour long. The basic plot of that is we're following one person, and he's just going on like a backpacking trip, I believe. And I don't know if he's got an internet blog or something like that, but like he does a lot of vlogs, and he's talking to his audience and this and that. And while he's going on whatever backpack trip he's going through, he decides to take a shortcut through a no trespassing sign, marked off area. He comes across the cabins from the Camp Crystal Lake massacre. I'm assuming the first one because they show the shower where Marcy was killed. And then, of course, he ends up dealing with Jason. Okay, now the reason why it belongs on Is It Worth the Hype is it seems like every single person who I have come into contact with through the YouTube, either the horror community, if you want to call it that, or just YouTube in general, they have praised this. They have talked about how much they love it, how great this film is. They said, I've had some people say that this is one of the best takes on Jason. I've heard some people say this is better than half the sequels out there, and it's everyone is entitled to their opinion. So this is my opinion on Is It Worth the Hype. Let's get into it. Okay, first off, the guy playing the main character, the backpacker, he's likable. He has he has a bit of a good personality. I like he doesn't seem cocky when he's talking to his audience or what have you, when he's talking to the camera. So and when first thing you think of sometimes when you see like backpacker, he's doing this, he's doing that. You think maybe like extreme sports guy. Usually they come off as dicks. He didn't. I liked him a lot. The main problem is, even though it's only an hour for half the film, until we see Jason at all, it's pretty damn boring. It's 57 minutes. We don't really see Jason like in action. Like we see him like bending down and like I don't know if he's looking at like a, I don't know if he's actually looking at the Camp Crystal Lake sign on the ground, and you see Jason in the background, and then he turns and looks, and then Jason's gone. So other than maybe a quick couple, jump scares or boo, the boogeyman is there type of shots, Jason doesn't really do anything until about halfway through. The problem is, even though I like this guy as much as I do, it's really kind of boring with him not having anyone to play against. Now, don't get me wrong, the film is shot wonderfully. This director, the overhead shots, just the way he holds the camera. I do like his nods to the first movie, like when the backpacker is going through one of the cabins or one of the areas. It's interesting. I mean, I do like the nod to, we see the overhead light right in front of the showers, where Marcy was killed, and you have like a piece of tape or a marker, and he does explain to the audience that this is where they would like mark off like the detectives would like mark maybe like clues or just areas where like the homicides have happened. Excuse me. So that is cool. There's a little blood splatter behind, on the wall, but then it just makes me wonder, where does this take place in the continuity? Obviously, it's very new because he's doing this vlog stuff, but the tape is still there from the crime scene. The blood hasn't been washed off the wall. I mean, they've used the camp since part 6, so obviously it's been used before. I don't know. That's just me thinking. But I do like the attention to detail. I like when he's in the main area of the cabin. You have the Camp Crystal Lake sign above the fireplace, and the sets look really cool. Jason looks really cool. To me, he kind of got the Freddy versus Jason look to him a little bit with the color scheme in this. But thank God he doesn't move like Frankenstein monster. So I really like this Jason. There are times when he's running. He's lunging. He's full force punching. So we know he's not alive because we get to see him unmasked, and he looks like his face is now basically a skull, which was kind of disappointing to me. But then again, I don't know the budget of this film, so it looked good. It was just disappointing considering what we've seen on the other films. But this is a scary Jason. I really like them. He is going full force after this backpacker. Swinging the machete with a vengeance, no pun intended. Throwing this dude around like a rag doll. He even fucking choke slam him through a table. This Jason is good. When like he is going after this guy, he runs or power walks, whatever, grabs the machete off the table and goes after him. So it's like remake Jason or part 6 Jason or pre-zombie Jason. So the Jason character was great. But again, there's some problems with this because if this is the same Jason that has done all this stuff, through 7, 8 films, depending on the continuity of this film, or maybe 9, I don't know. Jason's mark is pretty off. He misses with the machete a hell of a lot. And he toys with this guy a lot, which was kind of disappointing. I know they had to do that, I'm assuming, to pad the 60-minute runtime basically. But it's not like he's toying with him like it's cat and mouse. It's just like Jason, you could have killed this guy like 5 minutes ago, and he doesn't. But it doesn't take away from how much I really enjoyed Jason in this film. Now, like I said, the backpacker was likable. The problem is he didn't have anyone to really, other than react to Jason and getting the shit kicked out of him, and getting some good shots in too. He did what he could, but he didn't have anybody to act off of. Eventually, he gets injured, and it's really weird. It's a cool shot. Like, he stabs Jason with the axe in the neck, while Jason stabs him with the machete. So we see his red blood, but Jason appears to be bleeding purple, which was weird. I don't know, again, if that's because he's dead, or our blood turns purple or something. I don't know. So eventually, he gets picked up in the ambulance. And while this happens, he's having dream sequence after dream sequence, which is really weird and out of place for me. Like he's waking up and there's Jason right there in the ambulance. while red lights are flashing, and it's getting a little weird psychedelic for me. And then he's dreaming, Jason's killing him again, and he's in the middle of nowhere, strapped to the gurney. Maybe one dream sequence, would have been okay, but two right back to back, didn't care for that. Now, I mentioned plot spoilers in specific scenes. This is 2 years old. If you haven't seen it, it's free on YouTube. I will say it's really cool that they got Tom Matthews to come back. And Tom Matthews, if you don't know, he played Tommy Jarvis in Part 6. He plays Tommy Jarvis. He is the driver of the ambulance. It's cool because it even says Tommy Jarvis on his name tag. After Jason takes care of the two paramedics that are taking care of the backpacker, Tommy Jarvis even says, "Hey, maggot head, remember me, asshole." So that's cool. Going back to that old film, the problem is Tommy doesn't really do anything. That's what's disappointing. Literally, the two other paramedics are killed off screen, which is fine. Budgetary reasons, I don't care. We do get to see their dead bodies later. But then the kid, the backpacker, is still strapped to the gurney. They strapped him down. He can't defend himself because of the psychedelic dream shit. And then Tommy Jarvis says, "Hey, maggot head, remember me, asshole?" And then he says, "Hang on, kid, let's get out of here." He, floors the ambulance, and they just drive away. And then you just see Jason slowly walk after the ambulance as it's gone. Ends with a really cool overhead shot of Jason, and you see the road and the ambulance going away, and you see all the trees and stuff. But I really wish we would have gotten more from Tommy Jarvis. I mean, it was cool. Like, hey, fuck, awesome, that's cool, he's there. And didn't do anything. So, man, I'll tell you what. I'll say this. Let me unlock this again so you can see the picture. Overall, that was the wrong code. Got dead air here. Overall, a lot of people love this, and I don't know if it's due to lack of Jason movie in theaters. Never Hike Alone. You can't really see with the picture. I'm gonna stop doing this shit, but there you go. Never Hike Alone. Is it worth the hype? No, I didn't think so. Like I said, everyone's entitled to their opinion. This is just mine, but I found the first half, like I said, boring because the main character had no one to play off of. I didn't like the psychedelic, weird PTSD dream shit. Tommy Jarvis was cool for the 3 minutes he was in it, and then he does nothing and drives away. I'm sure they did that to maybe do, to open up for a sequel, which we have Never Hike in the Snow. But apparently that's a prequel. Don't know. I mean, we had like a great Jason. The backpacker was likable, but he didn't do anything. And then, of course, for the 100th time, we have to get the backstory of what happened in Camp Crystal Lake. We get it. Some people, for some reason, don't know the backstory of what happened with Pamela Voorhees, so we have to tell it again. But it's like, how many times in the Batman universe do we have to learn that his parents were shot and killed by some thug? They could have just been like Spider-Man Homecoming and be like, okay, dude's got superpowers. Okay, some murders happened here at Camp Crystal Lake. We don't have to hear about, Jason drowning and then seeing his mother beheaded and then coming back to life and killing people. We know the story. The first film is fucking 40 years old. So, is this worth the hype? No. In my opinion, not worth the hype at all. It was fine. It was only an hour long, but I'll never watch it again. I got my it's free on YouTube. I got my money's worth. So Never Hike Alone, 2017. The director can really direct his ass off. I would like to see him tackle a feature film. He was really good as Jason, even though he missed with the machete a hell of a lot. But I don't see myself ever watching this again. But that's it. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. Comment below. Tell me, what if you were one of the millions that love this film? Explain to me why. Maybe I'm looking at it differently. Explain to me why you love this one so much. If you're one of almost, less than a handful of people that don't really care for it, tell me what I'm right about. Tell me if you dislike this for a different reason, or just tell me you just don't give a fuck. Anyways, like and subscribe, click the bell, all that stuff. Plan on doing one more thing Friday the 13th related to upload on Friday the 13th. I'm going to try to attempt to watch and discuss Never Hike in the Snow, and we'll see if that's any better than this. I know it's half the length, so that might be a plus. I don't know. Anyways, oh well, not worth the hype for me. Cheers.